1. Hey everybody, Brandon Lawrence, Dave Downey here. That's been doing that all morning, by the way.
Oh.
Glitching. Here we are. It is Monday. It is Monday.
It is
already.
Monday.
It feels like we've had a whole week in this morning. It's been a really long day already as we're getting ready for what's going to be a pretty impactful winter storm later this week.
Definitely the busiest winter weather week that we've had since I've been here in the past year and a half. I know we had that 14-inch snowfall on January 15th in this past, I guess, 11 months ago.
Right.
But since then, we haven't had anything else. I mean, we had a couple inches in November, but nothing blizzard-like, which we could see this week.
Yeah, I'm afraid that we're going to have blizzard conditions. And if you know about how I usually approach forecasting and how I usually approach weather, I don't hype weather. I usually am actually more conservative on forecasting, and I like to wait and see how it evolves. But we're seeing a lot of signs that really lead us to believe not just snow, but wind, and then, of course, the dangerous cold.
Yeah, you're probably the least gambler of the three of us meteorologists.
Yeah.
I take some gambles sometimes. Sometimes they pay off, sometimes they don't. But you are the most conservative forecaster, and when we see Brandon coming in here expecting several inches of snowfall later this week with 50-mile-per-hour wind gusts, that's when we
well, and I'll say this first, because I know everybody likes to ask that question. The first question people are going to ask is how much snow.
Yeah.
I really don't want you to focus on the number, because if it is 6 inches, if it's 8 inches, if it's 10 inches, the impact will be the exact same.
Mm-hmm.
It's still going to be dangerous for travel. The blizzard conditions with the wind, and it's going to take all of this very light and fluffy snow and toss it around.
Yeah. Well, let's dive right in because we've got snow going on right now.
Yeah, there is stuff happening right now. We've got our look outside downtown Des Moines. It's kind of tough to see on the camera, but there's a lot of cloud cover, and we've already had snow showers outside. This morning, we've had a couple of heavier pockets that Dave was keeping an eye on earlier.
Yeah.
And here's the radar right now. Let's see if we can put that into motion, or you just have it on a static?
I think I just have it on a static.
Yeah, so see where this heavier, darker blue is right now? That's the north side of the metro. That is Story County, and even a couple of darker bands across Hardin County, the very extreme northern part of Boone County, and southern Webster and Hamilton County. Now, when we say heavier bursts of snow, it's not going to turn into a whole lot today, but it is enough to cause slick roads, and then later tonight we actually could have a bit of freezing drizzle too, which creates a little thin layer of ice on top of what snow falls.
Yeah, this is like on a fight night in Las Vegas. This is the undercard for what will be the main event coming Wednesday and Thursday. This is a static shot, huh?
Yeah, no, I was going to say, good way to describe it.
Yeah, and everything's kind of moving off to the northeast here. So whatever just hit Bondurant, Altoona, visibility's dropped below 2 miles out there. Now pushing into Story County, Story City, Colo, Slater, maybe seeing some heavy snow right now. McCallsburg, there you go. We a lot of towns out there. We got to know. Yeah. Not Colo, right? Colo.
Yeah. But that's a little bit of a heavier burst, and I'll be the first to say this is faster than I thought we would see snow today. I thought for sure it would hold off until the afternoon. So we are likely going to see more scattered snow showers. We'll get a little lull here. There is more in southern Iowa. And then this is the part that I was really expecting to see early on, which is the western part of the state.
Yeah, and you can see those are some lighter blues, so it's not quite to the intensity that we're seeing across Story County and Hardin County right now. But this is all, there's a cold front back here that's trying to push everything a little bit to the east. So as the day progresses, we're going to see everything kind of take a more easterly trend as opposed to the northeasterly trend we see right now.
You also mentioned that front. It's kind of sad to say, but today is warm.
Today's the warmest day for the next week.
Today is the mildest day that we're going to have for a while, probably until at least next Tuesday, maybe next Wednesday.
Yeah.
Just kind of depending on the snowpack and what we see. Here's the bigger setup. We do have that area of low pressure to our south and west, and of course the cold front that's with that as well that'll be trailing. So even though today is not as frigid, it was cold this morning, getting better this afternoon. By tomorrow morning, it'll feel like nothing happened because it'll be really cold again.
Yeah, no, it will. And today gets to 30, 31, 32 in Des Moines. And it's the warmest for the next week. That's what we're watching, the big old low pressure system off the coast of Alaska. It's going to make proverbial landfall in Vancouver, Seattle later on today into tomorrow, and then make its way southeastward towards us. Here's Futurecast for tonight. It's not doing a very good job what we call initializing, showing the current conditions, but you can pretty much see the cold front right here tonight, right around the rush hour. Yesterday, the models were backing off with the snow for today. This morning, especially what we're seeing right now, it's obviously ticking back up.
Yeah.
I'm just looking at the radar here on my monitor. It's picking up in intensity pretty good right now in Huxley, in Maxwell, Shipley, Nevada. Quick half-inch to an inch may be possible up in Story County right now.
Yeah, I think this middle part of the state, and we'll show you a map with the totals in a minute.
Yeah.
The middle part of the state, easy dusting, probably up to an inch in some spots. Couple areas could get in that 1.2, 1.3 kind of range.
Sure.
And then to the northwest, especially as you see these darker blues, 3, 4 p.m., I think these areas, Fort Dodge, Humboldt, Algona, Clarion, maybe over towards Rockwell City, Manson. Those are the areas that could see as much as 2 inches, maybe a little bit more. Wouldn't even be surprised if Mason City gets 2, 2.5.
Yeah, I think north central Iowa might be the bullseye out of this system.
Yeah.
There's the front. It gets through the metro right around when Brad Edwards will be timing it out later tonight at 10 o'clock.
Yeah, so things will probably already be getting a little slick during the evening rush. They probably get more slick as the night goes on. Keep in mind, I know we say this a lot, but we say it for a reason. The majority of Iowa's car crashes and accidents happen with 2 inches of snow or less.
75%.
Yeah.
Of crashes happen with 2 inches or less on the ground.
And a lot of people, I think that's just because we get overconfident.
Yeah.
We think, oh, it's not that slick. So we want you to be careful. And then, of course, if we get that freezing drizzle on top of it, then tomorrow morning we wake up with a glaze on top of the snow. And I'm worried the commute tomorrow will be pretty slick.
Yeah, you'll be in tracking that tomorrow morning.
Yeah.
Tomorrow is planning to be my one day off this week, but we'll see if things get slick tomorrow morning, then I might be in too.
Who knows? I might give him a phone call at 4 in the morning.
I'll be ready, coffee in hand. Totals through tomorrow morning, inch to 2 inches. The bullseye might be Webster County into all the way across into Hardin County too. So we'll monitor that.
These probably should have, I've thought about doing this before. You know the squiggly line? It's like about an inch.
About an inch.
Yeah, roughly an inch. It might be 0.8, 0.9, 1.1. And then, of course, light icing also possible. So once we get past today, tomorrow is quiet. And
thankfully, we get a break.
We get one day. Of course, it could be slick tomorrow morning, but it's the one day where nothing's going to fall from the sky.
Tomorrow's a great day to get prepared. I'm working on a story tonight about what a kit you need to have in your car ready to rock because of what's going to come later on this week. Kitty litter, I didn't think that was a thing. Put some cat litter or some road salt in your trunk in case you get stuck. That's one thing you can use to gain traction. There's about 11, 12, a dozen different things you should have. A flashlight, a weather radio,
blanket,
or the We Are Iowa app. That works just as well, too. You can watch this live stream on the app. Some of you might be watching on
portable
the app.
Charger, if you have that, like an external battery pack so that you can charge your phone and that type of thing. So here's the big setup, and we'll tell you what we know and what we don't know so far. This is around 5 o'clock Wednesday. I think Wednesday after lunch is when things start to go downhill in our state. We start to see snow in the northern half of Iowa. Des Moines probably doesn't see anything until at least 4 p.m., maybe a little earlier, but probably mid to late afternoon, evening rush. Then this is going to come through, and more or less it's not going to stop. We will get a lot of snow Wednesday night into Thursday. It snows most of the day Thursday. And while this is happening, the wind will be increasing a lot. I don't think the wind will be bad Wednesday night.
No.
But Thursday when we wake up,
it'll be howling. Yeah, gusts 30 to 40, maybe some 45 to 50 mixed in there too. If you have any questions, I've got the Facebook live stream up here, so if you have any questions, feel free to drop those in the comments. I think we're live on YouTube too. But this is the peak of the snow likely on Thursday morning. The Thursday morning commute will be incredibly impacted, just making it blunt, because the winds you can see, once you see those yellows, that's sustained winds over 20 miles per hour, and we'll see gusts with just how close that low pressure system is to Iowa, up to 40, 45.
Something else that we don't often deal with when temperatures are dropping as much as they're going to drop. I mean, this is Thursday's high temperature, 4 degrees, and that is really dependent on the speed of a cold front. It might be 6, it might be 0.
Cold is cold.
Yeah, exactly. When it is that cold, the snow tends to be a lot lighter and fluffier, which if we didn't have the wind, we would say that would be a good thing because it's easier to clear.
Yeah.
But the wind can also blow around the light, fluffy snow a lot more than it can the heavy, wet stuff. And so as this blows it around, I'm very concerned that visibility will be near or below zero through most of the day on Thursday.
And the obvious thing when you think snow, you think low visibility, you think wind, you think a blizzard.
Right.
The criteria for a blizzard is two things. It has nothing to do with how much snow is falling, at the rate at which the snow is falling. Its visibilities have to be under a quarter of a mile for at least 4 hours in a row, and you need frequent wind gusts at or over 35 to 40 miles per hour. We'll be right close to that. I mean,
well, and the term frequent is kind of arbitrary. So we will, on the back side of this, or as it's happening, really get this big blast of cold air that comes in too. It's going to be dangerous cold that settles in late Thursday into Friday. It is something that we do get from time to time in Iowa. I would say on average once per winter we have to talk about this. Hopefully, with it being December, it doesn't mean we have to do it twice.
Kind of ahead of schedule here.
Some point in January. Usually this holds off until sometime in January, but dangerous wind chills on the order of 25 to as low as 45 below zero. I usually will be a little more bold on wind chills, Dave, because I see time and time again that the modeled wind chills, a lot of times you want to be conservative, they almost always are lower. So I'm not going to be surprised if we have 40 to 50 below in parts of the state. So with all of this coming our way, National Weather Service went early today and issued a winter storm watch. It's for everybody in blue. Now, let me be clear. It probably will get expanded to, I would say, all of Iowa's 99 counties. I think this eastern part of the state, they're not in the clear. It just hasn't been issued yet.
This is real quick. Sorry. It's rare to have a winter storm watch issued 3 days ahead of an event.
Yeah, this one starts Thursday morning, goes through Saturday morning. I thought for sure we wouldn't get one till at least this afternoon. I thought maybe even tomorrow morning, but they put it out because they know, obviously, this is such a busy travel week. And I'll just say it right now. If you have plans to travel later this week, Thursday or Friday, time to change them.
My mom is supposed to fly in Thursday morning, and I told her, no can do. I think the Des Moines airport's going to be closed on Thursday. I think it's going to be too hazardous. Hopefully I'm wrong. You have to be hunkered down by 3 or 4 o'clock on Wednesday.
Yeah, so if you are trying to get out of state for the holiday, either go Wednesday before this gets underway. I know a lot of people were asking me if Wednesday would be okay. I think as long as you get going afternoon Wednesday and you're not traveling north, you'll probably be okay. If you're headed out towards Illinois or Chicago, you'll get ahead of it. And then otherwise, Saturday will be the next best day, and even Saturday could be a little bit iffy. So right now, believe it or not, snow is not my primary concern with this. And Dave, I'm going to have you step out of the way real quick,
please.
just so you can see. Snow is a threat, it's a concern, but it's actually not the biggest one. The biggest threat is going to be the wind and the cold. I probably could go very high on the cold too because it's just going to be rough. Thankfully, this will not turn into an icing event because it's just that cold. The snow, again, it doesn't really matter the amount because the wind will toss it around and make for blizzard conditions. I do still think we'll have the most substantial snow we've had so far this winter.
The most substantial one since January 15th.
Yeah. It's just a matter of, the wind also makes it incredibly tough to measure.
It is. It could compact it. It could blow it around. No matter if we get 6 inches, if we get 9 inches, the impacts aren't going to be that much different. It really won't.
So we worked on this morning, which is basically the probability of seeing different levels of snow. We have a 100% chance of seeing more than an inch of snow on Wednesday through Friday. That's a given. It is pretty much a given that we're going to have more than 3 inches of snow. Once you get to 6 inches, I still feel pretty confident, you and I both do, that it will be higher than that. I suppose with the wind, there is a chance some spots could be lower than that. Then our confidence starts to go down as the totals go up. I feel very good about saying we will see at least 5 to 6 inches of snow.
I agree.
I just don't really know what the top end of that range will be yet.
Yeah, no, I agree. It could really be anywhere between 6 and 12 to 15 inches.
Yeah.
It really could be. Some of the models last night had even more than that, but they've backed off since, which is good news.
We thought that one was a little suspect,
Yeah.
but, you know, you see it and we still are like, okay, let's keep it in mind. I will say I've been here, and I know everybody always has the winter storm that they go back to. In my forecasting here, I don't think I've ever seen us get anything over 14.
The one we got in
at the
January?
airport. I think that was the biggest, and then there was another one the year before, a couple days after Christmas, that I think was a foot. So it can happen. We will just see how that goes. So travel-wise, Wednesday is not a good day, but it's not the worst either. I don't think we will see snow until later in the day. And even when the snow gets started, the wind will be light and it'll be manageable for a couple of hours. So if you do need to travel Wednesday, you're probably going to be all right. I would say Wednesday after sundown, that's when you want to be home. Thursday and Friday, though, travel highly discouraged. Heavy snow, gusty winds Thursday. This is the sustained wind, 20 to 30 miles per hour. So as Dave said, gusts could be 40 to 45 miles per hour. Won't be shocked if we have a 50 mile per hour gust and bad travel conditions. Friday we'll have bad travel conditions too. Snow will be ending Friday, but it'll still be windy. And blowing snow and what we call a ground blizzard could be a concern on Friday. And it may look like it's snowing still, even though it's not actually accumulating.
Bingo.
And then, of course, that's when the severe cold really settles in.
Yeah, I don't think I put a wind chill futurecast in this show, in this hit here, but we're going to see wind chills -30 or worse on Friday.
You don't want to see that map, to tell you the truth.
No.
And there will be wind chill alerts that get issued later in the week. I know Northwest Iowa's already under a wind chill watch. We will probably see wind chill advisories, wind chill warnings issued for part of the state later this week as well. That may come out, I think, at earliest tomorrow, maybe Wednesday. Kind of gets lost in the shuffle because we're talking so much about the snow and so much about the wind, that the cold air. Yeah, we are talking about a lighter and fluffier snow.
Yeah, I chatted with gentleman Jeff Greenwood from Mid-American Energy about power outages because, of course, you think, oh, heavy winds, heavy snow, heavy, multifaceted winter storm. Not too worried about power outages because the worst part of snow or ice for power lines is the stuff that sticks to it, that weighs it down.
That's very true.
Then it sways in the wind. This is going to be blowing around so much, it's not going to be a snowman snow. You could probably still try to do it.
It's going to look like a very well-shaken snow globe.
Bingo. Couldn't have said it better. Yeah. So they're not too...
It was like really going, you know?
Yeah. They're not too worried about power outages right now. We're going to check back with them in the next couple of days.
Yeah.
But there we go. So that's the kind of snow we're going to see. It's not that heavy stuff. And because it's the light and fluffy snow, that increases snow totals.
Yes.
There's
also increases the blizzard concern because sometimes we get that back-breaking or really heavy snow, and the wind is strong, but it's not tossing it around as much.
This only amplifies the blizzard concerns when it's light and fluffy.
So I've been told this morning I sound a little like Armageddon, and I'm not trying to be that way. We have dealt with something like this before in Iowa. Of course we have. It's just that it comes 2 days before Christmas, which is probably the worst possible timing for everybody going to travel. Really quick, you're also working on travel information today because this is not just an Iowa storm.
Yeah. Let's go to the next graphic
that
here.
on the next one?
Yeah. Snow continues Thursday. This is really a Midwestern East Coast forecast. The models are kind of honing in on Chicago being almost the bullseye for this storm. Because advance it one more time, Brandon. You'll see between Thursday afternoon and Friday morning, the low pretty much kind of stalls out here across Detroit, Grand Rapids, Michigan, and what we call bombs out, bombogenesis. The pressure drops significantly within the storm. You're laughing at me. It's an actual term.
No, it is. I can already see the Good Morning America headline, bomb cyclone.
Lock that in, too.
Technically a real thing.
So Thursday afternoon through Friday morning, heavy snow continuing in Chicago through Grand Rapids down to Indianapolis.
I'm going to restart that graphic really quick just because there's a lot to show on that.
No, there is. You could spend 10 minutes on that graphic.
So notice how this is Wednesday, and we don't even have it paused there. Wyoming, the Dakotas, Nebraska. Thursday afternoon, we mentioned Chicago, but also Wisconsin,
St. Louis,
Missouri, and even down into
Little Rock,
Arkansas. Yeah. And then it's going to cross over like you said, into the Great Lakes region. I'm eyeing western Pennsylvania and
Pittsburgh,
New York.
Cleveland, Columbus, see some snow early on.
Down into Virginia and the Appalachians.
Snow continues across the Ohio Valley.
Now we're at Christmas Eve.
Correct.
And we've got snow mix along the eastern seaboard. Problems in New York, Providence, Boston, Hartford.
Yeah,
Portland, Maine.
Now it's only just stopping the snow in Chicago.
So this is important to keep in mind if you've got flight plans, because I know coming out of Des Moines, a lot of people connect at Chicago O'Hare. A lot of people connect at Detroit.
St. Louis.
St. Louis, there's a lot of connections. Minneapolis, there's a lot of connections. What else? Those are kind of the main
DC.
DC has some.
You named most of them right there. Yeah.
So, and then of course the severe cold is actually going to extend really far south too. Even in Florida, it's going to be pretty cold.
That's the next graphic.
Is it? Of course
Yeah.
it is. Why did I not guess that?
Well, I don't go all the way down to Florida here.
I knew you would though.
The polar plunge, oh, gotta love the alliteration. Negative a dozen degrees in Kansas City. 15 below is the air temperature Friday morning here in Des Moines. Watch how fast Columbus drops from 43 degrees to 2 in 10 hours.
And this is going all the way down south. I mean, Tennessee is going to have wind chills below 0. I grew up in Tennessee. I don't remember seeing that. Maybe I was just too young, but I don't remember seeing cold like that.
Teens all the way down to Dallas, single digits in Oklahoma City.
And this doesn't really show it, but on Christmas Eve, it really does extend into Florida. Freeze warning's already out for Central Florida, which affects the citrus crop there. And my favorite one that we get is the falling iguana alert.
Yes.
In South Florida.
I saw some of those on campus when I went to Miami.
Did you?
Not that I saw them fall out of the tree, but I saw them laying on the ground.
Nice.
The lowest temperature I ever saw.
But they're not dead.
No, they're basically hibernating from the cold. I don't know.
Sometimes that's how I feel too, right? It's too cold, gets too snowy, and just lay down, fall over, and wait until it's over.
Yep, just go on with life. All right, so there we go.
Is that what we got?
I think that's it. It's still snowing. Back to today, Story County is seeing some heavy snow right now.
See if we can go all the way back to it.
Rewind here. We'll go another few minutes till 12:30.
All right. We can, yeah.
Yeah, look at that.
Coming down there pretty good in Story County right now. The darker the blue.
Up into Hamilton County too.
I-35 probably has some pretty poor visibility. 69. And,
let me see if I can find an Ames camera real quick.
210 as well in Story County would be kind of affected. So as we talk about all of this, I know we've thrown a ton out there, a ton at you of information. I think the thing is just do your best to stay informed. I know sometimes it can sound like so much to keep an eye on. I think my plain advice, there you go.
That's 35 at 30. Wow.
Right there at the flyover. Yeah, that is pretty poor visibility. And you see the snow coming down.
That's
the road looks okay right now and traffic's still going at a decent speed, but keep in mind as more falls, it accumulates more and we could start to see some slick areas on the roads. So here's another view. This is 35 at Lincoln. So that's just north of that. And it's always tough to tell how much it's accumulating now because we already have snow in the grass. So you have to kind of watch the roads to see how well it's sticking at this point.
This is in Huxley.
Okay.
Mile marker 105.
Yeah. Still seeing that snow being tossed around. Thankfully, I will say, going back to temperatures, it's a little colder there along Highway 30 right now, which means it's probably falling as a little bit of a lighter, fluffier snow. So, and we don't have much wind today. So that
really, just look at those blues kind of intensify.
Yeah.
Right as it gets to
northern part of Polk County, and then it just goes up into Story and all the way up into Hamilton and Hardin.
More coming up from the south, Lucas County.
Yeah, another band just north of 34.
Sheraton. So Indianola, this is kind of where this band started.
Yeah.
This band kind of started down here in Indianola, made its way to the northeast.
Still
All right.
a drop in the bucket compared to what comes later this week, but we do want you to be safe today. We certainly want you to be safe later this week. Dave and I are extremely active on our Facebook accounts, on our Twitter accounts, so please follow us there. If you have questions throughout the week, that's what we're here for. We can't answer everything specifically, and I'm not usually one to tell you what to do with your plans because I believe, I can't tell every single person what to do. But I will say, if it were me and I had travel plans on Thursday and Friday, and parts of my family do have travel plans, I would not do it.
No.
That's just kind of how I would approach it. I would go Wednesday. I would consider going Saturday because I think it will improve then. Because I know Sunday is Christmas Day, so if you're really trying to get somewhere, Saturday would definitely, still may not be the most beautiful drive, but it will be better.
Mm-hmm. And just to show you, we're walking to talk. We're talking about, staying in a hotel here at the station. We're not just saying this, telling you what you should do. We're doing it too.
Yeah, so. I don't want to drive in the middle of the night through Des Moines as snow comes down and winds. So we will take our precautions and you take yours as well.
Just a couple questions here real quick to answer.
Yeah.
From Rod, I like this. Rapidly and deep strengthening of a low pressure system, bombogenesis. There you go, Rod. Yes.
What is bombogenesis, Dave?
30 millibar drop in 24 hours?
Yeah, so usually it drops 1 millibar per hour.
Yeah, that's pressure. So how much is the low deepening? If we're traveling to the Twin Cities, best day and time to travel? Wednesday morning?
Yeah.
Friday afternoon if they can reopen I-35?
Yeah, I mean, we don't know that it'll be closed, but it won't be great on 35. My recommendation would be to go early Wednesday if you can, Wednesday morning. There will be snow in the Twin Cities on Wednesday, but I think if you get there, it's not that long of a drive. If you go earlier in the day, that would be better.
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm. All right, it's 12:30 on the nose.
We've been
just
talking
for a half hour. We're going to have several of these over the next...
Yeah, the plan is, barring any changes that we would let you know about, the plan is for us to do a live stream like this each day at noon this week.
Yeah.
So I'll be here tomorrow and I'll do one at 12, and then we would do one on Wednesday and Thursday. Thursday we probably will adjust because I'm sure we'll need more than one.
We'll have team coverage on Thursday.
Yeah.
And by team coverage we mean live shots from the driveway, because we're not gonna emphasize a blizzard by going out and driving on I-235 saying it's snowing, it's windy, it's a blizzard. That only makes things
The only thing that irks me more than crazy headlines and all that is us being on the road and saying, don't go on the road.
And we're on the road.
Yeah. So we're gonna
walk the talk.
Keep that in mind as well. So anyway, have a great day. Get your holiday shopping done this afternoon.
Tomorrow's dry. It's a good day to get ready for Wednesday.
Yeah, I'll be at the store. Lucky me. Tomorrow. In a disguise.
In a snowflake. He'll be in a snowflake costume. Or maybe like a sun costume so he can jinx the snow coming out.
Some swim trunks or something. All right, everybody. Have a great day.
Yeah.
Stay safe.